Welcome everybody to a beautiful day at our site here, the Southern District Police Station. I'm Matt Johnston. I'm the Executive Director of Arundel Rivers Federation, and I'm here today, we are here today to celebrate the ribbon cutting of a big project. And it didn't start out that way. Like so many of our projects, they sometimes start out as just an idea, just a phone call. I want to give a huge shout out to the person who took this project from the beginning, and that is Miss Lily Harriton right over here from Arundel Rivers Federation. So when we hired Lily just a few years ago, we told her that we were going to throw her right in, all right? And we threw her right into projects, and we said, we think you can swim. So she took over this project here, and at the time, it was just going to be planting some wildflowers in front of the police station to make sure that as people came in, they saw native plants, they could read a couple of signs about what those native plants do for their watersheds as they went into the community room in the police station. But it quickly evolved beyond that, like so many of our projects do. It quickly evolved into, hey, you know what, Arundel Rivers? We have this old helipad. Do you guys see a helipad? It's not there any longer. We have this old helipad that's broken. We're not using it. Do you guys want to help us go after grant money and take that helipad out? We absolutely do. And it evolved into 2 rain gardens that were here to begin with, but they had filled up with sediment. And so they were no longer functioning. They were no longer protecting the downstream waters where we have our oyster reef that so many in the Edgewater community know about and are proud of. So everything that we did here evolved from a simple planting of a seed of some wildflowers into impervious surface removal, the golden goal for all of us in the restoration world. Let me tell you a bit about that. In the restoration world across the Chesapeake Bay, the goal is always to remove impervious surface, parking lots, concrete that isn't used, if at all possible. But we almost never get to do that. So that's why we have my favorite souvenir that we took from any restoration project. This is in our office all the time. This is a piece of the old helipad. Because folks, we finally did what the EPA, what Erik Michelsen and the Bureau of Watershed Protection and Restoration, what all of us want to do, and we removed impervious surfaces here for our watersheds. So let's give Lily and the entire staff who made this possible a huge round of applause again. So we've got some great people up here because we couldn't do this work without all of our partners, and I'm going to introduce them one by one, beginning with the captain of our Southern District Police Station. Thank you so much, Captain Davis. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Captain Tim Davis down here at Southern District. I just wanted to come out and speak on behalf of my officers and supervisors and the community. I know we've done a round of applauses for Lily, but I've been here for about a year, and my office sits right down there on the end, and the work they've been doing here for the last year that I have been here has been nothing short of remarkable. So let's give them another round of applause. I've been on the department about 26 years, so I was here when that helicopter pad was installed, and now I'm here when it's been taken out. But over the years, we've had a lot of issues with those rain gardens. And as we've come into the police station, they didn't look aesthetically pleasing. So the work that they've done here over the past year and a half, has really improved Southern District. And our Police Community Relations Council, we have meetings here every month, and they kind of seen the evolution of all the progress that's been done over this past year and a half. It's been a lot of really great work. So thank you to Lily, thank you to her team. On behalf of Southern District and all my officers down here, thank you.
All right, and next on the agenda for today is Miss Whitney Vong from the Chesapeake Bay Trust.
Hi everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone for being here today to celebrate the ribbon cutting of this wonderful project. I think, when we all take a chance to look more closely at the projects that we have here, please take a look at those educational signage that Arundel Rivers so graciously put together with beautiful photos. It really shows the impact of what this project was able to do. And as Matt noted, I'm with the Chesapeake Bay Trust, so we help administer the grant program alongside the County Bureaus of Watershed Protection protection and restoration. And so through this project, we were able to fund the removal of the helipad and the restoration of these 2 rain gardens, which is aligned with the goals of the Chesapeake Bay Trust, which are to empower people to restore nature. So we have so many groups here today who came together in collaboration with this project. So thank you to the Arundel Rivers Federation. Thank you so much to the Southern District Police Station for allowing Arundel Rivers to do a project here. It's a great demonstration site for what we can do more within this county. So I'm excited to see what projects we can do together with Arundel Rivers and other police stations and maybe fire stations around the county to do similar work. So thank you so much for having us here today. And just again, thank you to the partners and thank you to all the folks here to celebrate and to see more about what these rain gardens can do for our watershed. All right, thank you so much.
County Executive in Chief, did you hear that? We've got a funder here who wants to do more on police stations and fire stations. Just heads up. Next up on our agenda here is a great partner who I tell all of our interns, all of our employees, whenever you get a foot in the door at Arundel Rivers or anyone within this Chesapeake Bay environmental space, you usually stay there, right? Erik Michelsen, the Deputy Director of the Bureau of Watershed Protection and Restoration and Environmental Policy Director, correct, for the county. He actually started as the Executive Director of the old South River Federation, which merged with West Road River and became Arundel Rivers Federation in 2019. So he got his foot in the door with us, right, long before I got here. And now he is funding dozens of projects like this around the county every single year. So let's give it up for Erik Michelsen.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity to speak. I just really want to thank everybody involved in this project, from the police department to the Arundel Rivers Federation to county executive who supported this program over the course of his administration. As Matt had alluded to earlier, you know, one of the goals of our program at Public Works is basically to provide restoration, water quality treatment for the parts of the county that developed prior to contemporary regulations. And that's a difficult challenge because a lot of times it's being done obviously in cooperation with landowners, but at their discretion. And sometimes folks who come to this from the outside will say, well, surely you've got lots of public properties that you can do this kind of work on and make progress there. And the reality, having done this work for about 20 years now, is that oftentimes it's more difficult to work with public property owners than it is with private property owners. They respond different sets of incentives. So when you've got a situation like this where the police department was a willing partner in this situation, and you've got Arundel Rivers willing to carry the ball across the line and get this project into the ground, that's the ideal circumstance. We've got projects very close by now on the property where South River High School is located. We've done projects on County Rec and Park property. We've got a project with Arundel Rivers over at South River Farm Park. And so without these nonprofit partners, it would be impossible for us to be able to pick up these opportunities, to have these kinds of relationships with both public and private partners. And I think this project itself is a really exemplary example of the kind of work that can happen where it's a win-win for everybody involved. The police department gets flooding relief and gets rid of an eyesore in terms of the old helipad. The county gets water quality credits for its regulatory needs, and Arundel Rivers helps sort of facilitate that transaction. So again, I'd like to really thank everybody involved and look forward to doing a lot more of this kind of work across the county. Thank you.
So all of our restoration projects across the county, they take a lot more than bulldozers. They also take folks getting on the ground, getting their feet dirty and their hands wet, right? And we had a great group who was out here to help us do that. Vanessa Bright is our next speaker from Maryland Resource Reentry Program. She's going to tell you about what her group does to encourage citizens who are returning to our society to learn new skills and help out on projects like this. So let's welcome Vanessa.
Good morning. As Matt said, I am the founder and executive director of Maryland Reentry Resource Center, and within our reentry program, we have an initiative called Greenlift. And so with Greenlift, our returning citizens are trained on conservation landscaping, which includes the work that you see here today. You can probably tell that I was not the one out here pulling the weeds and doing all that. So I'm representing our wonderful program manager, Devin Landry, who actually started as a Climate Corps volunteer with us, and then we hired him because he was so amazing. He's on a 2-week vacation, much deserved. So I'm representing him and the crew that he leads that does this work. And so I just want to thank Arundel Rivers is an amazing partner. They bring us in on a lot of projects. Public Works is an amazing partner with us as well, and so is CB Trust. They've provided a lot of funding for us to make this possible. So I want to thank you for that. And Matt, we are looking forward to doing some more of those projects at the police stations and fire departments. Thank you.
Did you hear that? More projects. Okay, all right. Just check it. I have just a couple more thank yous before I introduce our last speaker. Yesterday, we always have to keep these projects looking good. And so sometimes we need volunteers to get out here and do the simple task, but the grueling task of weeding in the heat. So I want to give a huge shout out, everybody turn around, to our Powerhawks team from South River High School, who came out yesterday to help us beautify these rain gardens before today's event. And they do a lot more than that. We partner with the Powerhawks to help them build and test out underwater robots. We actually took their robot out onto our Riverkeeper boat on Glebe Bay, and they tested it over our oyster reef before they went to a competition last year. So huge round of applause for Powerhawks and that partnership. And also I want to give a huge shout out to our vice chair, Nancy Booth, who showed up today. Thank you, Nancy, on behalf of the entire board of Arundel Rivers Federation. Now, last but not least, a gentleman who's in his final year of office. And when he got in, he had a plan to elevate the environment. He turned to some folks like me and Erik to help him do that. And I think that today and a lot of the ribbon cuttings that he's doing this year are a testament to how Anne Arundel County and County Executive Steuart Pittman have elevated the environment over the last 8 years. So let's give a huge round of applause to Anne Arundel County's best environmental warrior, Steuart Pittman.
Environmental warrior trained by Matt Johnston, who came on as our environmental policy director in the beginning and really wrote the Green Infrastructure Master Plan, convinced us all, including the public, that there's real economic value in nature-based solutions, some people call it. So this project made a liar out of me. I've been going around the county for the last 7.5 years telling people when you pave it over, you can't get it back. It's done. You've killed nature and it's done. Well, they brought it back. So congratulations for bringing nature back. And then the rain can go where it belongs, down into the water table, rather than going all the way to the South River and picking up a lot of crud as it goes, nutrients you could call it, and destroying our waterways. So I think it was last week, Erik was with me. We had a delegation from Japan visiting Anne Arundel County. And they were doing what they call nature-based solutions, NBS. I didn't know what they meant when they said that at first because we don't use that term much, but nature-based solutions. And this doctor of an institute that was doing this work had been here to Anne Arundel County in 2015 at the point where we were all arguing over whether we should have the stormwater fee that funds the projects that people have come to love and admire so much. Those projects are the reason why people come to Anne Arundel County from all over the world to see how you can restore nature, to see how you can use nature to protect waterways. And so he was saying that in Japan, they've got the information now and they're starting to design some projects and things, and they've gotten help from literally Anne Arundel County-based organizations who've been over there. But they're having trouble getting political support for that work. And I said, well, y'all have like the best Japanese gardens are like the most beautiful anywhere, and that they're in cities and things, and that's so don't they already get that? And he said, those Japanese gardens actually have more impervious surface than anywhere. They actually have like they don't let the water seep into the ground because they're putting it through pools and fountains, and a lot of it is paved. So they're having trouble with that. I told him that look at the evolution in our county from 2015 to 2026. Both political parties now are big supporters of the projects that you all are doing, and part of the reason is that our residents are engaged in them. So we've got high schools out here, we've got community groups out here planting the stuff and really getting the dirt under their fingernails. So it is one of the most gratifying things about the time that I've been in office, that not that we've just done the projects, but that the public supports the work. And because the public supports the work, it will continue, and we will get it done, and we will clean up the bay, and we will have a healthier environment for people to live in. And when you look out your window, you see cool stuff like this. So thank you all for doing this work. It's really, really important.
All right, everybody, now the moment you've been waiting for, I know. We're gonna cut the green ribbon. Before we do, last shout out. None of this is possible without my entire team. So Arundel Rivers team, raise your hand. At last check, and Jennifer, please correct me if I'm wrong, this is one of 25 projects we're actively managing this year alone. Something like that. 24 projects we're actively managing because of this village of partners up here who make this stuff possible, and because of that team back there. So thank you, everybody, for coming out today, and let's cut this ribbon. All right, come on up, you guys. Yeah. All right, first pose the pictures. Now everybody grab a bit of the ribbon. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I invite everyone to take a look at the signage. They took a long time to design, so we're very proud of those. But right there's where the helipad once was. We have our ring dome on this side, and then we have one on the other side of the station as well.
So hang out, see all the projects, go back to see your riverkeeper there. You can wave, riverkeeper Ellie. Or raise the roof. She's raising the roof because this is the best water quality year, by the way, if y'all hadn't heard. Best water quality year for the Chesapeake Bay in my lifetime. Some of you are older than me, but best water quality year in 40 years. So round of applause for the river. And go back there, see our river report card, which gives us a grade for every single tributary. There's snacks. I hope that you enjoy your day. Thank you for coming out, everybody.
Thank you.